and fellowships, support that goes directly to the people, faculty members and students whose achievements are distinguishing the university. Overall, this capital campaign has already attracted more than 81,000 donors. And even more amazing is the fact that 37,000 of those donors are new donors, people who had never before made a gift of any size to the University of Pittsburgh. In fact, 30% of those making gifts of $50,000 or more were new donors. And that includes 19 donors of $1 million or more who had never before made a gift to the university. The Alumni Association, through its general outreach efforts, its support of our regional campaigns led by Andy Kuzneski, and its sponsorship of our University on the Road programs, has played a key role in the campaign's success. We're very grateful for that and really excited by all of the opportunities to come as we climb toward and realize that billion-dollar goal, a goal that once seemed out of reach, but that we are determined to make a reality. And we are very excited to be moving forward in your distinguished company. As I have tried to convey, your efforts have been critical to our success on virtually every front. But so much of what I value in our relationship can't be measured in the number of applications or in the number of campaign dollars or even in the number of basketball wins. Instead, I am one who knows that the best experiences of life are even better when they are shared. And we really have shared a lot over the course of the last 9 years. So let me say again how deeply grateful I am to you for all that you have contributed to our progress in the many forms that it has taken. And let's keep it going and hail the pit. Thanks very much for everything. You know, the last 2 years have been particularly special to me because they have given me more opportunities to work with Eva Bloom. She and I graduated from law school in the same year. But she regularly reminds me that she is a year younger, presumably because she was precocious and not because I ever was held back. And I thought this was a personal thing between Eva and me until age became a topic of discussion at our lunch table today. And now I realize she carries on this battle with most of her good friends. Eva likes to describe what she says was our first meeting, a gathering of the officers of the Pitt Law Alumni Association when I was a brand new associate dean. The then dean and the then vice chancellor for institutional advancement had developed some kind of a proposal that they knew was going to be very unpopular with the officers of the Law Alumni Association. In fact, they were so sure of the negative reaction that they both left town and gave me the assignment of presenting this proposal to Eva and her colleagues. I did my duty, which means that I endured a real beating, and for reasons I can't fully understand, Eva still reacts with kind of a sick smile when she recalls that incident and shares the story. But actually, Eva and I had met many years before that. She was the chair of what I think was the first law alumni dinner I attended. Unfortunately for me, she already was dealing with deans and people even higher on the pecking order. She didn't have much time for assistant professors, so she doesn't even remember that we met. We've done much better the last 2 years. She has occasionally acknowledged my presence and has generally refrained from any further violence directed toward me. Actually, it's been a great 2 years. Eva has been a wonderful representative of the Alumni Association and of the university. She's been ambitious in her goals and tireless in her pursuit of them. She has contributed individually in countless ways to our progress, but nothing has been more important than Eva simply being who she is and standing as a shining example of the kind of person and the kind of professional that Pitt helps to produce and that Pitt deeply respects. Eva, we are deeply grateful for everything that you have done, and I'm going to present you with a little remembrance of these 2 years. Hopefully it will bring back warm memories of an important time in your life and certainly an important time in the life of the University of Pittsburgh.
Thank you, Mark, and congratulations, Eva. Now I'd like to ask Lee Patouillet. Please come forward, thanks.
How do you follow a chancellor like that? Very closely is the answer. And today is a day that we've been thinking about for some time, and we cried some last night. But we think about those great 2 years, and you're helping us think more globally, Eva. I think about the challenge that Hannah shared with us. She turned to her Pitt family and said, listen, I'm heading off to college, and my mom's going to be bored. Can you keep her busy? And Mark and I talked, and we said, well, I think we got a few things for her to do. And I think about all those Panther games, and she's hanging out with her buddies Dan Marino and Lynn Swan and Dave Wanstad. They're all part of the Eva Groupie Club. So it's been fun to see that. And she has challenged us in so many ways. We started to stack you all up on top of each other because you know she loves room arrangements and dynamics. And we have laughed so much about her thoughts because she was studying everything. She wanted to make it better. And that's the spirit here at Pitt. And we thought about what could we give her that could help her figure out the diagrams so she could be the senior advisor to Keith and myself about how to set up rooms. Because we've never had the same setup twice under Eva. I mean, she's thinking totally outside of the box. And I thought, what could we get Eva? So Eva, we have the Etch-a-Sketch for you. You can do more diagrams to your heart's content if you'll come up here. Eva, you're not done. There's more in this magic bag. You know, she talked about membership, and we've had many conversations, and she said, Lee, why don't we have more members? So-and-so down the road has more members, and I want more members. And we studied this and studied it, and we made some good progress, especially in like memberships. We've gone over the last 4 years from 250 to 2,200. Isn't that great? However, Eva was not satisfied. And she said, I want a magic wand. I want you to figure out a magic wand, the silver bullet. So Janet and Michael and I, we kept looking for the magic wand and the silver bullet. Well, Eva, good news. We found the magic wand. This is the magic wand. Now, part of the key to this, you got to turn the magic wand on. Now, with bifocals these days, let's see if I can do this. Let me see. It's terrible getting old. Okay. Now, you get to press a button, Eva. Well, I'll tell you. Let me press this for you, Eva.
Hello, I'm Cinderella. Let's wave the magic wand to make our dreams come true.
So this is your chance, Eva. So this is your magic wand. So now you have a magic wand. We're gonna shut off. No, there's more, Eva. Her friends have said, Eva, I see you in all these publications. We see you in the scene column. We see you in all these places. And someone said to Eva, Eva, it's like being the homecoming queen 365 days a year. Yesterday, she had her corsage on, and she has one again today. And it's like going to the prom 2 days in a row. But she has been our queen. And she's been a wonderful queen. And every queen needs what? A crown, a tiara. So we spared no expense. And we have a tiara for the queen. So here it is. It's got the official, the only one of its kind. There are no other like this because there's only one queen. So let me present this to the queen. Oh, I'm sorry. I tell you what. Okay, you can adjust it. So Eva, we do have a scrapbook to remember us as you go on to the Board of Trustees. But we hope you enjoy this, and we thank you. Keith, back to you, Keith.
Well, you're not quite done, Eva. I get a chance to also say a few words about what you've meant to me. As all of you know, as President-elect, you get 2 years to learn from somebody, and I can't think of anybody that could have been a better mentor than you. I think back just 2 years ago, and I was just really getting to know you well. And over those years, I think of the many meetings, strategic planning, late evening telephone calls, Eva keeping me on schedule, on time, on script, thinking about the strategic plan and the fact that we've done so well in 2 years, achieving so much. And if you remember just a day ago when we went through each committee and we saw how we had improved in every area, we set high goals, we set high, achievement. And in every area, through Eva's leadership, we achieved or exceeded each and every goal. Membership, communication, outreach. We've got the park program so busy and so overachieving, that, we have to hold him at the floodgates. You saw some of the results of that last night in the testimony of people that won Volunteers of the Year. I'm not sure we can give Eva credit for that great basketball season and a football program coming back, but we can say that through your great stature at P&C, we got a great 10th. And we had great weekends, and over 10,000 of us saw and enjoyed each other's company as a result of the generosity of your company and your senior leadership in that area. I think about the Big East, which I didn't attend, but I heard, and I was jealous because everybody had such a good time. And then I was able to spend a couple weekends on the road and saw what we could accomplish out in the West Coast and other parts of the country. And even it was your leadership, and it was your vision, and it was your unique way you work with people to get people to really respond and to enjoy that work that we do together. So you've taught me a lot, and I think I'll be a better leader as a result of it. And I think I will make fewer mistakes. And I also want to aspire to greatness for this university and for this alumni association. And so by raising the bar, you've challenged me, and so I accept that challenge. And I look forward to, not all the time, but coming back and asking for your advice quietly. And I'm sure it'll be there, but I won't drag you into too many of those things, because I look forward to working with Brian and the other new members of our alumni board. So I'd like you to come back up again. This time it's a little different kind of, it's not a crown for your hair, and it's not a, I won't mess it up, but I want you, and please, Mike, if you would, please come up too. This is where I want you to sit back and relax and think about us. This is your chair. And so now it's your turn to tell us what you think. Let it all out. Okay, there we go. It has a mind of its own.
Thank you. I'm so moved by what you all said and really what you've all done for the last 2 years. But I want to take you back to 1970. A time when not many women were attending professional schools. We had about 15 in a class of 200. I was so lucky because Pitt took a chance on me and awarded me a full scholarship to the law school. Because of the excellent education that I received, along with that important JD degree, so many doors were opened, and I've had a career that I really never dreamed possible. So now I want you to fast forward to about 30 years later and picture this. I'm at a small gathering for lunch before the honors convocation about a year ago, hosted by Mark Nordenberg. I'm having lunch with the late Dr. Peter Saffer, a Pitt professor and the father of CPR. Pitt alumni Dr. Catherine DeAngelis, the first woman to be editor-in-chief of the prestigious Journal of the American Medical Association. Dr. Robert Dowling, the first surgeon to perform a double heart-lung transplant and to use an artificial heart device, and Sam Hazo, Pennsylvania state poet. They were receiving the Distinguished Alumni Awards that day. I looked around the room, and once again I thought how incredibly lucky I was to have this opportunity. And that's really how I felt for the last 2 years as president of the Alumni Association. It's been an honor to represent this great university and the over 225,000 alumni around the world. We have an incredible family of alums, and we've traveled coast to coast meeting them. It is so evident that Pitt alumni want to stay connected. They want to hear about the university from Mark, and they want to tell us their Pitt stories. They are accomplished, and they're proud to be Pitt graduates. There's so many people that I would like to acknowledge and thank. And like Byron said last night, I feel like I just got an Academy Award, and this is my big chance to thank everybody who made the last 2 years so special. The Alumni Association has grown significantly, both in stature and in numbers. This is in large part due to the importance that Mark Mortenberg has placed on the association, which you just heard. As I've said many times over the last 2 years when I introduced Mark, Mark sets the tone. Mark, it is so gratifying that you meet with us, you ask our opinion, and you include us in important decisions. You have made such an enormous difference at this university. It was also so much fun to be part of the cheering section with you at football and basketball events, and you've been a great chauffeur to the airport. I cherish our friendship. I certainly want to acknowledge the support we've received from Jim Marr and Al Novak. It's really great to have the big guys on our side. But let's admit it, this association thrives because of Lee Patouillet and the incredible staff. After Sam handed me the gavel 2 years ago, I told Lee that we had to continue the legacy of accomplishments by Sam and the presidents before him. I was so worried that we'd have nothing to say in 2 years. I told Lee that he had to work really hard to make me look good. Well, the alumni staff really make all of us look good. Lee, you are such a great leader. You've had to remind me a few times that although there is never a shortage of good ideas, we have to be realistic about what we can accomplish. But we've had great discussions about new goals and the future of our program. You even put up with me when we rewrote speeches 4 and 5 times. We've had many heart-to-hearts and wonderful laughs. You all have to understand that Lee goes way beyond the call of duty. He was at the hospital almost the minute I returned to my room from surgery last winter with a Pitt blanket and a Pitt teddy bear, just to make sure that I was okay. And he's given me so much advice on how to handle Hannah and her freshman and sophomore years at college. Lee, I feel like you are part of my family and that I am part of yours. Thank you for everything. And what a staff you've assembled. I wish that I could thank each of you separately. I do want to single out Kathy Abloff because we've worked so closely together. Your quiet, behind-the-scenes expertise is so important. When all of us were going a little crazy, I always knew that you'd get us through the latest crisis or change in plans. But all of you are remarkable. Your dedication, enthusiasm, and creativity make this place tick. One of the greatest joys over the last 2 years has been working with the students in the Blue and Gold Society. I have cried, as Mark teases me, I have cried through every induction and goodbye to senior ceremony. I am in awe of their intelligence and enthusiasm. We've challenged them with significant projects, and they have come back with excellent suggestions. If Donald Trump only knew about them. I thank all of you on the board for your support and participation, and for putting up, as we just said, for putting up with more seating arrangements that could ever be imagined. I always felt that I needed to work harder and be more enthusiastic because you were all working so hard and you were so dedicated. Getting to know so many great volunteers has just been wonderful. And how lucky I was to have served as Sam's apprentice. Thanks for letting me call you so often to ask your opinion. But I think Sam's greatest advice to me came on the afternoon when I was making my debut as a guest coach for the women's basketball team. He sent me an email explaining that the object of the game was to get more points than the other team. If only I had listened. There is no question that I could devote so much time to Pitt because of the enthusiastic support of my employer, PNC. From the beginning, Jim Moore encouraged me to take on these responsibilities. And Cy Holzer, who's president of PNC Bank Pittsburgh, is here today. But you have to understand that Cy really serves as my big brother at PNC, and it's wonderful to have you here. Thank you. I want to end with some incredibly valuable things that I've learned as president. I've learned the difference between a man-to-man and zone defense in basketball. And I've learned when to call a quarterback sneak, which now Lee calls the Eva play. Thank you, Al and Lee, for being my best coaches. I've learned that one of the great joys in life is reading the sports pages first thing in the morning before reading any other part of the paper. I've learned that Prince Andrew has really great blue eyes. I've learned from Mark that McDonald's Quarter Pounders and fries are still a great treat. I've learned from Andy Kosneski that Manhattans are delicious and dangerous. I've learned that I always need to behave because wherever we traveled with University on the Road, someone always came up to tell me that they either knew me as a child or knew my family. But most importantly, I've learned that we are part of a great university family with proud traditions and much affection for each other. And I know that we've chosen a great president in Keith. Keith, we have become such close buddies. You are so creative. Your style is electrifying. You relate so well to the students and the faculty, and I know that you will lead us to even loftier heights and greater accomplishments. My very best wishes to you and to the whole board. Hail to Pitt.
What a great way to end a great afternoon. So I don't think there's anything else really to say. Eva, it's been a great 2 years, and I look forward to a lifelong friendship with you. So I think that's it. We're going to sing the Alma Mater. And before we do that, I really want to take just a moment to thank Liberty Mutual. Are they in the room? Would they please stand? Thank you for being our sponsor. It was a great seminar today. Okay, I'm going to do something that I've really never done before. I'm going to lead you in the Alma Mater. Would everybody please stand?
Hail to Pitt!